My name is Jordan Vanover. I'm the International Sales Manager for Brunswick Bowling Products.
Thank you, Jordan. Can you please now introduce about the Brunswick facility and the company itself a little bit?
Absolutely. Thank you, Marie. One of the things we're the most proud of is our state-of-the-art manufacturing facility. It is the nicest and the largest in the bowling industry. And here I will share some pictures with you. Here is a picture of the outside of our ball plant in Reynosa. As you can see, the facility is quite large. It is very nice, very clean, and it is very new. We are in an industrial district with a lot of other big companies. If I go to the next slide here, you can see some pictures of the inside of our facility. The picture on the left shows some molds and inner cores being poured, and the picture on the right shows some outer cores that are getting ready to be poured. Again, one thing to notice is the overall size of the facility. It is extremely large, and you'll notice that it is very clean and very organized, very high-tech and state-of-the-art. Everything is automated.
It really is. Can I ask you a question?
Please.
I can see that facility is really, really huge, but I see only few people working there. But I've also heard when you bought EBI, you hired more people there. Is that true?
We did. We offered a lot of the workers in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, opportunities to come work for Brunswick. Some accepted that offer, and while there are not many people pictured in this picture, we do have a couple hundred employees at our manufacturing facility.
I see. Thank you.
So if we go to the next slide, this shows our engraving and process work area, and you can see there are some people working on filling engraving. But I want you to notice how clean and how organized and how automated everything looks. We have really high-tech machines and a lot of state-of-the-art equipment to ensure the absolute best quality products in the industry.
So that is how you distinguish each brand, by organizing everything so clean.
It certainly helps. We will, depending on the day, we will run Brunswick bowling balls or Hammer bowling balls or Ebonite bowling balls. We have the ability to manufacture hundreds of thousands of bowling balls a year, so it changes day to day. But depending on, I can't tell what they're working on here, but it could be a variety of anything. This last picture shows, there you go, you can see some Hammer and Ebonite boxes as well. This is just our warehousing facility. You can see that there are thousands of bowling balls being pictured here, and this is just one room. There are a couple of rooms just like this. So we pride ourselves in not only having the best quality, but also having ample inventory for distributors to purchase whenever they need.
That's amazing. It's like Amazon.
It is very similar to Amazon, yes.
We're going to be releasing Obsession and Obsession Tour in Japan very soon. Can you please introduce about these balls?
I would love to. We'll save some of the more technical details for whenever we meet with Randy Teitloff, our Director of R&D, and he can share some more of behind the scenes uniqueness of these bowling balls. But I think the most important thing to recognize with Obsession and Obsession Tour, it is the second time that Brunswick has used dual density in their weight blocks. Previous to the Ebonite acquisition, this was not something we had the ability to do. So the Black Widow was our first dual density weight block, and we quickly followed that up with the Obsession and Obsession Tour dual density weight block.
So does it make the performance similar to Black Widow somehow?
Yes, it does. The dual density allows the ball to rev up and essentially hit harder and go through the pins. And this is something that we will continue to develop and use more and more in bowling balls in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But as you can see here in the picture of the Obsession, you'll notice that that weight block, the puck is positioned on the bottom of the ball, but the pin, because this ball uses dot technology, is actually on the other side, which allows you to drill anywhere you want.
Mm. So does that mean that the performance is somehow similar to Black Widow, but this one, Obsession, is even newer, and so that it has more unique technology and has more ball performance on it?
The technology is very similar, but the Obsession to me is a Black Widow on steroids. It is a stronger version of a Black Widow. If your Black Widow is not quite hooking enough, the Obsession would be a good ball to use.
So it will hook even more.
Yes.
Thank you. And you have Obsession Tour, which is releasing at the same time as Obsession.
That's correct. And the only difference here is, as you'll notice in the picture of this core, which Randy will touch on later, is that this does not have the puck. So this is a symmetrical bowling ball, and the Obsession is asymmetrical. So this bowling ball is still very strong, but as the lanes start to transition and the Obsession becomes not quite enough, the Obsession Tour is a great step down.
So these two are going to be very nice matching balls to have together when you are going bowling. You can use Obsession first, and then later on you can switch to Obsession Tour, right?
Absolutely. That's a great point, Marie. You could go in for going to a fresh tournament or fresh, especially on fresh conditions, going from Obsession to Obsession Tour is going to be a great 1-2 combination. And if you really want to get involved, the Black Widow fits nicely in the middle of these two bowling balls.
Mm-hmm. That is why these balls are becoming so popular to PBA players, having two balls together. And we see many PBA players are actually already playing with these balls. How popular is it there?
The Obsession and Obsession Tour are very popular amongst all of our staffers. The Obsession Tour especially, because a lot of the patterns that the PBA uses are very flat and very challenging, and the Obsession Tour allows the PBA players to really control the lane and have a very nice, smooth, predictable ball motion. But if they need something much stronger and to change direction harder, they have the Obsession in their bag as well. I have a couple of comments here from Bill. Bill ONeil actually bowled at Saginaw Valley, where I bowled myself. So Bill and I are very close friends. And it was exciting when we purchased Ebonite that I was going to get to work with Bill again. But he comments on the Obsession. The Obsession is a big ball that still shapes. I use this when there is lots of oil in the front part of the lane and Redemption Solid doesn't shape enough. So while he really liked the Redemption Solid and recently won a major with it last year, the Obsession is an even stronger ball for him.
Mm-hmm. Good. And I heard that you tested the balls by yourself too.
I did. I was one of the testers for not only the Black Widow, but now following it up with the Obsession and Obsession Tour. And it was pretty easy to see after the success of the Black Widow just how good these bowling balls are, watching them go down the lane. It didn't take very long to realize that we had some really special bowling balls here.
So comparing to Black Widow, how do you like these balls?
Actually, in League last night, my 3-ball arsenal was Obsession, Black Widow 2.0, and Obsession Tour. And I threw the Obsession early for a few frames, and then I went to the Black Widow for about a game and a half, and I followed that up the third game with the Obsession Tour and bowled quite well, but it allowed me not to have to move a whole lot and just kind of play the transition. So the Obsession Tour are a great 1-2 combination for any pattern.
So having Black Widow 2.0 in between Obsession and Obsession Tour makes it even better.
It does. One thing that we pride ourselves on at Brunswick is making sure that when we build bowling balls, that we build them with the intent to fill a gap. We are not just producing a new ball for the sake of a new ball. We're building bowling balls to fit a need or to fit a gap. If we have a ball that's not quite strong enough and we get feedback from our PBA players, Bill O'Neill said the redemption solid, there were times it wasn't strong enough, so we produced a bowling ball that was stronger.
Thank you, Jordan. Now, can we have your comments to Japanese bowlers? Because, in this world right now, you cannot come over here so easily as you used to. So we would like to have your comments.
Thank you, Marie. I cannot wait to get back to Japan to visit Legend Star and all of Legend Star's Pro Shop customers. We had a wonderful visit in 2020, and I hope that we get to visit again real soon in 2021. I will say that with the acquisition of the 4 Ebonite brands, the one thing we were very excited about, and my Vice President Brian Graham was extremely excited about, was the ability to get to work with Legend Star again. Brian worked with Yosaka in the past, and we are extremely excited about our partnership and growth moving forward. And I think that the Japanese bowlers and pro shops are in wonderful hands with Legend Star distributing Hammer and Ebonite bowling products.
Thank you.